The time's serious, got the Lord furious. We get scared, send up prayers, but he ain't hearing us. Turn to Satan, get delirious. What you better do is repent, boy. Point blank, period. You got ignorant brothers, killing over colors. Single mothers, crabs in a barrel, they're snapping at each other. Uncle Tom sleeping with the enemy under covers. Then you got needle fiends, alley cats chasing pipe dreams, or whatever's handy. Coke fiends, nose gleam, do whatever for the nose candy. Man tan, Amos and Andes. Gotta be wicked to get the Grammy. Don't condemn me, just understand me. My brother's not my own foes. These fake Hollywood pimps and Deuce Bigelows. Faggot niggas on the down low. 12-year-old selling ass for the billfold. Deuteronomy 28 in the chokehold.
In this world of drama, karma follows me closely. We live mostly comatose and so sleep. But it's life, but I'm all right. And every step manifests either life or death. And the effects of the life we choose is these curses, these verses. From the womb, the hearses, the tomb, the judgment. Heaven or hell, this is our life, our life, our life, our life, our life.
Speaking of fighting, I've been writing. Writing is our child born and saying quitting sin. Number 2 pistol was shoved through a tattoo back. They say that him being neglected as a child was accessory to crime. Strange remedy nowadays. Brothers go to jail to find peace of mind. Now a cat watching me shit. Sharpen my shanks and bless my face. Describe my expression, blank, domino. Black and Mexican race war, my father's Geronimo. Carrot on the string. Deputy controlling me through my hunger to live. My rod tower is short bit like Price and a knife in it. This jailbird don't sing, this sweat, stress, and peck. My life can be summarized in yard ribbons and TV set. I die at 10 and resurrect at 6 o'clock. Program these punches to move like shocks for curious
inmates. In this world of drama, karma follows me closely. We live mostly comatose and so sleep. But it's life, but I'm all right. And every step manifests either life or death. And the effects of the life we choose is these curses, these verses. From the womb, the hearses, the tomb, the judgment. Heaven or hell, this is our life, our life, our life, our life, our life.
On the TV screen, bring me that jealousy. Every breath I breathe, bring me the felonies. Selling me lies, intoxication that leads me. Open the demons, I see them, no one believes me. I'm getting visions, I'm wishing needs would stop. I'm seeing myself shot, bleeding up in the palm. My people, they can't stand me, call me sick in the head. It's all these voices giving me all these choices. Bomb border with noises, gunshots, and threats. It's jail time unless I rise above the specs. These crackers confuse me, pick me up, and use me. Wicked spirits, they choose me, possess and abuse me. I wanna scream cause my life's so miserable. We live so pitiful, brother say the Israel will ride on these crackers for vengeance to serve cold. I'm trying to hold on what's left of my soul.
In this world of drama, karma follows me closely. We live mostly comatose and so sleep. But it's life, but I'm all right. And every step manifests either life or death. And the effects of the life we choose is these curses, these verses. From the womb, the hearses, the tomb, the judgment. Heaven or hell, this is our life, our life, our life, our life, our life.
All right, shalom, shalom, family. What's going on, y'all? All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. IQAhmath, minister, brother IQAhmath, IQAhmath, first name, IQ, it's all the same. Shabbat shalom to the families in the house, man. Hopefully everybody's doing well today, man. A lot going on in the world, man. It's hard to keep your head on straight, man. Hard to maintain sanity in the world so crazy. You feel me on that? I know y'all do. Man. Salute to the families in the house, man. Let me see who's in the house. Bayan in the house, shalom to you. In the house of Bayan, Diz the Wiz, shalom to you, my sister. All praises, she wiped her feet, as everyone else should be doing. Hopefully you did as well. If you came up in here, man, you already know what time it is. The sign is at the door. When you walk up in here, man, wipe your feet before you enter, okay? The house of Byron, shalom to y'all, man. Shalom to Naquab, Kohav, Uziel and Malachi, shalom to y'all, man. Karatazah, Sister Denise, Shalom. Brother Ron, Shalom, Shalak, Ashar. Shalom to you, brothers. The House of Shaq and Amawa, Shalom to y'all. Shemai one, Shalom, Mike. What's going on, brother? Rosemary, Shalom to you, my sister. Shabbat Shalom to Sister Catherine in the house. The elder in the house, Shalom to you. All right, man, we here. We here. We are here. All praises, man. All praises, man. Another wild week. Another 7 days that we've got to, collect, build, and get to the point of rest now that we can actually come together, commune in the spirit of truth, and analyze and see what's something happened in the last 7 days. Another completion of time has elapsed, and over here we documenting and seeing what's happening. So without further ado, man, y'all see the title. Will America reap what it's sown? You got multiple nations are in protest against America right now. They're talking about America can go to hell. This is why, it's very interesting now. You get the little passport bros and the expats that be moving out the country. Right now, it ain't even the safest time to be running around talking about you an American. That's the mark, and that's the cursings that the Most High has placed on America right now. You know what I'm saying? You could be in multiple countries right now, everywhere from Ethiopia to Saudi Arabia to Iran to Russia to you name it. And you can go somewhere, man. You could be in Thailand, the Philippines, and they could be like, American? You're like, yeah, I'm American. American. Oh, American. It was once a time of glory where you could be, yeah, I'm American. Everybody now, not so much. Now, not so much. Everybody isn't hanging their hat on the red, white, and blue right now. The world is in an uproar, man. And America's dirty sins and secrets now have been hidden. I mean, have been unfolded. With this ongoing war right now. Slow Biden, rolled out of his coffin a couple of days ago to address the nation. They were saying, man, this is the most powerful speech he said since, in his presidency. I mean, they said that a couple years ago when they were talking about it. He had the greatest speech since Eisenhower. I mean, they constantly trying to prop up this dummy, this mannequin, to make him look like he's really animated and he's real, And you notice he's talking about this, the attack on Israel and the Israeli people was like 15 9/11s. You remember last week I said they're going to categorize this in the same manner that they did 9/11 for America. They want that same memory. They want that same impact. They want that same excuse to engage in warfare. They want that same excuse with the backing and the confidence of the people to say, yeah, this is justified. They went and killed them innocent Israelis over there. We've got to stand behind America. And no sooner than 4 or 5 days later, here comes Slow Biden popping out, talking about how this is worse than 15 9/11s. And now you start hearing that same comparison being echoed throughout different sectors of governments, from the Israeli governments to America and whatnot. This is the 9/11 comparison. You remember that 9/11? We won't forget. Remember that? So the psychological operation has already been understood. We see what they're trying to do. They're trying to incite a social experimentation on people's minds and make sure that you follow along, not y'all in the audience, but y'all know who I'm talking about. The world follows along with the narrative that this is a battle against good and evil. And brown is always the ones who are evil. White is right. That's the scenario that they always play. So here we are at another junction. Let me share my screen, man. Hopefully everybody's wiped their feet, man. Everybody's doing good today. It's a blessed day of the Lord. And we're going to have a time today. let's open up and let's open up with a few scriptures, man. Will America reap what it's sown, man? I mean, well, if you listen and you adhere to the Bible like many of us do, and I'm not speaking to those who are the dedicated family that's always here in the support of the channel. I'm talking about those that creep in afterwards and those that watch on the back end and those who don't, that kind of troll in and watch on the get their little information and run up out of there or whatever. If you stand by a biblical narrative, you damn right. America's going to reap what they sown. There's no, that whole karma, what goes around comes around, and yin and yang, and that's all coming from the scriptures. Let's not get it twisted. Galatians 6:7 says, "Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, whatever he sown, whatever a man sows, be it good, be it bad." And the Most High said, don't be deceived, man. Forget about the propaganda, the media machines. Forget about the Mockingbird media conditioning that they do. Forget about the narratives that they lay out there. Forget about the distorted histories that they've tried to cover up. The Most High said, don't be deceived. The Most High will not be mocked. His word is truth. And it says, whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So if we look at the laundry list of crimes, the laundry list of wickedness that America has done under the leadership of the so-called white man, and Rome under the leadership of the so-called white man, and Greece under the leadership of the so-called white man, and Babylon under the leadership of the Africans. I mean, what are we talking about? Go down the laundry list of things that they've done to the Lord's people alone. I mean, that's why if we're just dealing with America alone, man, look how much dirt they've got under their nails. They can try to clean and scrub as best they can, but it's still obvious. It's still being shown. It can't be hidden. I mean, the track record in the book is so thick that there's no way that they can cover up all of the corruption and the crimes and the evils. So Galatians clearly tells us what the Most High expects. So whoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. Well, let's look at some of the judgments. We know some of these classics, man. Revelation 13:9 says, if a man have an ear, let him hear. So this is a qualified understanding. If you have ears for understanding, you will hear and understand and receive what the Most High is putting out in regards to judgment, in regards to equity, in regards to justice. So verse 10, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. See, the narrative now that gets put out there is, that was in the past. We're not supposed to be concerned with who went and, the crimes of captivity. Oh, there was only like 5% white people that own slaves in America. I mean, who's creating these particular numbers? The same people who stole us and put us in captivity. Be it far from him to cook the books and actually distort numbers and say, no, it was only 5% of us that had you in captivity. Are you serious? There's no way that you can say 5 out of 100 people had slaves. The history just doesn't even depict that. For every 100 farms down south, and let's say Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, South Carolina, you saying for every 100 farms, every 100 landowners, that only 5 of them had slaves? So you telling me 95? There was 95 other places that slaves could have escaped to, went and had comfort and not been bothered and would have been protected down south. Really? Is that why there was a whole civil war between the North and the South? Just over a little 5% of people who wasn't doing what the other 95% would. Come on, man. These are the lies, man, that the white man puts out there. Because the judgment has been laid. If he leads into captivity, he's going into captivity, man. There's not a nation that he hasn't put in bondage. And even if you're talking about the nations, every nation that the Most High created had us in captivity. Just read Judges. We've been in captivity to the Persians and the Medes. We've been in captivity to the Africans, to the, from the Philistines, the Canaanites, the Moabites, the Ammonites. We've been in captivity to, obviously, the so-called white man. We've gone through the ringer with the nations laying their hands on us, the Arabs, all of them. So that's why the Most High said, well, if they lead into captivity, no question, the Most High will not be mocked. You're going into captivity by hook or by crook. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. It's not even a matter of should he, maybe, should we vote on it? Let's take him to trial. No. Let him be judged by 12. No. The Most High said that the only way that you can get justice is if one kills with the sword, he must be killed with the sword. So even when you're looking at America funding, America's behind both of these wars. They're funding, and we'll look at an article later. They're funding and preparing to fund both wars. So if you're looking at a puppet master who's instigating, funding, and controlling operations when it comes down to Ukraine and Russia, when it comes down to Israel, the Israelis and Palestine, and Hamas, Iran and Hezbollah, the so-called white man is back there pulling strings, and at the end of the day, man, all roads lead to him when it comes down to all of this bloodshed. So what should be the judgment for one who's promoted, funded, and participated in murder? The Most High said, well, if he's doing that, then he must be killed by the same devices that he's incorporated. Here is the patience in the faith for the saints. So this is where we have to be patient, wait, understand the judgment of the Most High, not go against it. Because ultimately, he's got to reap what he sown. This is why we're seeing the nations in the uproar right now. This is why we're seeing Psalms 2 where it says, why did the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? Because although they're out there raging right now against America, protests worldwide. Who would have known that the darling, freest country in the world, as they promote, the great whore of Revelation 17, the harlot, that arrays herself in purple and pearls and, scarlet and all of that tries to make herself look so good, but at the end all be all, she's foul as all outdoors. That all the nations now are in an uproar. Look at Isaiah 33. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. Well, did the Native Americans deal treacherously with the so-called white man when he came over here looking to colonize and conquer and destroy and pillage and rob and rape? How about the Aztecs and the Olmecs? Not even the Olmecs. The Olmecs they've been gone. But let's talk about the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas. How about the Arawak Indians? How about the Maroons? The Taínos? How about them? Did they deal treacherously, or did they have to deal an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, man? When they came over here looking to rob, steal, and spoil. But what did the Most High say? Woe to them that deal treacherously, and they weren't dealt treacherously. They didn't deal with that. Woe to them that spoiled us and was not spoiled. They come over and spoil all lands. We know, according to Micah, it says that they rob and they steal. They covered fields. They rob and destroy a man in his household. Let's look at that real quick in Micah 2. Micah 2, 1 and 2, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, in houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. So these are all things that have been practiced by our oppressors. That's why the Most High pronounced judgment, meaning woe means destruction. It don't mean slow down. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou hast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. Continuing on, it says, when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. See, once America got everything that they needed, everything they wanted, they said, "Oh no, we're great now." 1776, we've established the nation and we've done all of these things. The Lord said, "No, it's too late for that." He said, "Now that you've ceased to spoil, America is going to be spoiled. The white man and all of his particular conquering and areas of colonization, he's going to be spoiled. He's going to be ousted." Remember, if you go back to the lesson I did about the American Empire and dealing with Esau and the American Empire, man, and how they've got military bases over 700 all throughout the world. He's got a military, he's got a police force. I mean, he's got all the resources throughout the nations, man. But now all of the nations now are looking at him like, nah, we don't like you anymore. We don't want you anymore. We've tolerated you for years on end, and we're sick of it. And now the nations are rising up against him. Continuing on, it says, "And thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee." This is why America tries to act all innocent, with all of the things that they're running around here doing, all of the deceptions that they're putting out there. This is why they run out there and they say, "Oh, we haven't dealt treacherously with anybody." Oh, that was in the past. That was 300, 400 years ago. We've been good to you niggas. What? Oh, you said sand Negroes over there. Try to be nice. Nah, forget that. Sand niggas over there, man. We've been good with y'all. Oh, Moab, man. We love you too. All the nations is looking like, man, come on. You cannot hide all the treachery that you've done historically, man. Nobody's going to forget about that. You talk about legend. No, never forget 9/11, man. We're never forgetting the slave ships. We're never forgetting the robbing and the spoiling of the lands. We're never forgetting about the millions and the hundreds of thousands that you committed to genocide. We're not forgetting the medical experimentations that you've done on us in Tuskegee and so forth and so on. We're not forgetting any of those things. We're not forgetting about you forcibly sterilizing Native American women and Black women. We're not forgetting about any of that. We're not forgetting about Margaret Sanger. We're not forgetting about Planned Parenthood. We're not forgetting about you promoting abortions and single parent homes with your bogus fake government programs. See, we ended dealing treacherously with you. We've been giving you EBT. We've given you SNAP. We've been even talking about reparations. Why are you niggas mad? The Most High said, no. You're getting dealt with treacherously. Same way that you did to everybody else. We're not letting that slide. Verse 2, it says, "O Yahweh, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou their arm every morning, our salvation also in the time of trouble." This is the righteous, man. This is what our prayer is to the Most High. It's for the grace and the mercies of him to wait and to fall upon us when his judgment comes sweeping through. And we've waited for thee. Remember, Revelation just said, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. We're waiting patiently for these judgments to happen, man. I tell you, I'm going on 29 years in the truth come next year. Like a kid, I'm 8.5. Yeah, I'm 28.5, When you try to say your age when you're a little younger, you want to act older. 10.5. And throughout that time, all praise to the Most High. Throughout that time, man, I mean, through the labors and the toils, man, the studying, the rejections, man, the looks, everything from all the times we've been talking about. America's going to be destroyed. America's going to be judged. World War III is going to be coming. Plagues and pestilence, blah, blah, blah. And now to finally start seeing a lot of these things unfolded, man, it's amazing. It is amazing to see because we continually wait. We're continually enduring. It ain't over yet. Remember, this is just the beginning of sorrows. But it's starting off with a bang. But to start seeing all of these things come to pass now, for being a young man in the truth, man, coming in and saying, man, is all this going to happen? What? Dealing with doctrinal issues and splits and da-da-da. But to continually endure and still see the Most High stays on course, as my elder Shaf says. Staying on course, man, and we waiting for him, and we're seeing it all happen. Continuing on, we'll read verse 3. It says, uh, at the noise of the tumult, the people fled. At the lifting up of thyself, the nations were scattered. So there's going to be noise and tumults. We're talking bombs dropping. We're talking about civil war and unrest happening within the nation, within America and throughout the world. Earthquakes in diverse places, man. Plagues, famine, weather anomalies going on. Continuing on, it says, and your spoil shall be gathered like the gathering of the caterpillar, as the running to and fro of locusts shall he run upon them. So you see how a plague of locusts, can destroy a whole crop field, and they move deep. It says, the spoil shall be gathered like the gathering of the caterpillar, as the running to and fro of locusts shall he run upon them. The Most High is going to be laying down massive judgments that's going to be unstoppable, wiping out whole land masses, i.e. America, for a spoil. Verse 5, the Lord is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness. Verse 6 will end there. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. This is what we have to be incorporating in our lives right now. Wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. We covered it. I'm a stickler for this. I want to make sure it absorbs in everybody's mind. We have the knowledge of what's going on, the knowledge of self, the knowledge of the commandments, the knowledge of repentance, the knowledge about the grace and the mercies of the Most High, the knowledge about our enemies, so forth and so on, right? And the wisdom of how to apply all of that knowledge. That's what's going to keep us stable during these times and keep us strong in moments of our salvation. And these are the principles that's going to be the strength of our salvation. If we're looking for salvation, man, it's going to be found in wisdom and knowledge. They're going to be found in religion, as the Christians believe. Oh, you got to be a Pentecostal, you got to be a Baptist, you got to be no. All man-made constructs, man, is not going to do it. True wisdom and knowledge of the Most High is what's going to be the strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Us incorporating the fear of the Most High, the scriptures even tell us, man, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. And he establishes that as his treasure. So let's not get it twisted. Let's look at the law real quick. That's why it's important to stay tuned to, the Torah Tuesdays to become a little bit more sharper in the law. Some of y'all may be privy to this. Some of y'all may not know about these particular laws. But let's look at this one. Here's a law. Exodus 21:16. It says, he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So what should be the judgment of the so-called white man who has stolen men, sold men, and we're still in his captivity? We're still being found in his hand. The merchandise, the black gold, the black and the brown gold or whatnot, is now still being found in the perpetrator's hands. He's been stashing it away, hoarding. And every time people are saying, give it back, let it go, he's saying no. Well, that's okay, because the Most High said, well, this is part of the reason why America is going to need to be judged. This is why the so-called white man has to be dethroned and be replaced by a so-called black man named Yahushua, Hamashiach. Because he's stolen men and women and children and sold us, and we're still in his possession. So he's going to get put to death just off of that alone. This is why we're seeing many of the nations now turning their back on America, rising up, speaking truth to power, exposing all of the ills that they've done, and really the so-called white man, period. Because you have to include the Israelis involved in that. I mean, we're talking about the same nation of people, man. Doesn't matter if you're Ukrainian, Russian, Slovakian, Armenian, Scandinavian, Norwegian, French, German, redneck American, they're all the same. All the same, and all bear the same punishment. Whether they're actively doing it, whether they've aided and abetted the criminalization of their ancestors, whether they've remained complicit in the crimes, they're all considered guilty. Genesis 9:6 says, "Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of the Most High made he man." So he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. If you shed man's blood, by man's blood shall he be shed. So, there's going to be ultimate judgment. That's why we're seeing death in mass numbers, man, of our enemies, especially over there in Russia, Ukraine, man. They dying in the hundreds, the 50s and 100,000 to date. That's what they're saying the numbers are. I was just meditating on this too when this war cracked off in Israel between the Israelis and the Palestinians. If you've seen the same type of war footage, death, bombs, destruction, bodies laid out in the streets, have you seen the same type of footage in the Ukraine Russian war? Put a 7 in the chat if you have, because I've not seen this type of action, this type of judgment, this type of activity going on at all. I'm not saying that there's no war going on between Russia and Ukraine. There's definitely a war going on. However, within the last, 14 days, we've seen so much death, destruction, video footage, and bombs going off, missiles being launched, blood all over the place. 2 weeks, then we've seen in going on 2 years, a year and a half of the war in Ukraine and Russia. Where is all this footage at that they supposedly have? I mean, you've got wartime reporters. I mean, we're in an age now where cameras are everywhere. How is there really no real war footage going on, man, with Ukraine and Russia? Is there some sort of cover-up going on? I was just meditating on it. I was like, we're seeing all this stuff, man, with this one war, but this other war, it's only been going on for like 2 weeks, and we're seeing way more stuff going on. Now, whether it's that behind, the GMO Jews and their influence on media and the narratives that they want to spin and utilizing the Mockingbird talking heads on TV and social media to promote, because this is very interesting. You can kind of see the power of influence and who controls what. But it's very interesting that we see one side, one war has been going on for damn near 2 years. And we ain't seen as much action, much death, mayhem, and storylines going on in 2 weeks with this other war that just cracked up. Very interesting. Yeah, from Egypt to Israel, absolutely, it's all propaganda, man. You see what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get one more. Numbers 35. And let's read 30. Let me see. Let's read 33 and 34. So it says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and land cannot be cleansed. The land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein. Okay, yeah, this was it. So verse 33 says, so shall ye, this is dealing with blood defiling of the land. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So look at that. The Most High said that blood pollutes the land, and the only way that the land can be cleansed again is by spilling the blood of him that shed it. So if we're talking about all of the blood that the so-called white man has spilled on this land alone, from the Native Americans to the indigenous populations in the Caribbean, South Central America, the so-called black man during the antebellum slavery times or whatnot, man. I mean, how much blood is crying from the grounds of America alone and the Caribbean? And the Most High said the only way that this place can be cleansed, man, is to destroy the one who shed all the blood. Don't shoot the messenger. That's what the Most High said. If you want to be cleansed, hey, the Most High said, go to the source. You got to cut the head off the snake, man. And that's just what it is. This is why we're seeing America is got the multiple nations, man, got America in their crosshairs, and their attentions is focusing in on not only America but all of its allies and the whole kingdom construct of the so-called white man. This fourth beast, the last beast, birth from Rome, the little horn, spoken of in Revelation 17. That was other first before it. Speaking about Rome being birthed out of Great Britain, one of the seven horns. See, defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, Yahweh, dwell among the children of Israel. So the Most High makes it clear, man. He's dwelling amongst us. So if we're questioning, wondering, well, hey, will the so-called white man, is America going to be destroyed and judged? Yes. Just based off of the laws of the Most High, just based off of him reaping what he's sown. So we're in a fantastic moment in time in history right now, man, that we're able to witness and see how the judgment of the Lord is all happening for our good. It's all for us. It's all for us in the deliverance of the children of Israel, man. The closer we're getting to sealing the elect, closer we're getting to waking up our people, man, the greater we are in coming back to the Lord and being returned back to our land. Let's start off. Let's get right to it. All right. Look at this. From the jump, man. Pro-Palestine protesters take to the streets across the world in scenes of rage as they burn the Israeli flag and condemn President Biden ahead of IDF's imminent Gaza ground invasion. See, that's one thing too, man, that we're seeing is they've slowed down on that invasion too. What the plan is, why they're trying to creep a little bit more slower, why they're trying to move and slither a little bit more covert when it comes down to this ground invasion with the tanks and the troops and raiding houses and destroying homes and families. And they've kind of pumped the brakes on it a little bit. They told everybody, oh, there's water down south. Go to the southern end of Gaza. Go down there. Like I said last week, could that be a whole trap for them? Or they're saying maybe the Israeli troops are concerned about booby traps and being ambushed and, not knowing and understanding the surveilling of the land. But we don't know. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. You see it right here. Down with Israel, down with America, USA, go to hell. And this is happening from Australia. You got kids out there. Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh. They was in South Korea. I seen I think they said Ethiopia. I mean, it was multiple countries. That's why I said, man, running around with the expat and you got your passport from America. Now you might want to tuck that. Bouncing around from hostel to hostel, doing your little backpack traveling and all that. Hey, you might get put to death, stabbed or your butt whooped, because that might not be the best passport to have anymore right now. American? Oh yeah, American. Okay, yeah, we gonna kick your ass, American. Now it ain't too popular. You understand what I'm saying? The curse of being an American, man, is coming back. That's why the Most High even told us in what's that in damn, what's I think it's Zechariah 5. Let me see. Yeah. Look at Zechariah, the 5th chapter, and let's read. I'm gonna just read 1 down to 4. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. So Zechariah is getting understanding from the scroll of judgment regarding the theft. Well, who's the biggest thief on the earth, man? If it ain't the so-called white man, tell me who is. I mean, he steals everything from inventions to lands, to ideas, to cultures. I mean, hold on. Tell me what's in the white culture. I mean, and if you saying some old jackass stuff about, oh well, white folks like to eat their meat rare, white folks like to jump out of planes in parachute, white folks like to tie around rubber bands around their ankles and jump off of mountaintops and sky. I mean, come on, is that culture? What is their culture? You say, oh well, the Greeks used to do this. Then the Greeks were stealing from the Babylonians. Greeks were stealing from the Egyptians. The Romans in like manner. I mean, what do they do in their quote unquote culture, man? You can talk about the rednecks down south. They do some. I'm talking about legitimate cultured things. You know, name something they haven't stolen. See, but this is what we see. This is the curse that go over the whole face of the earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. Now, notice it said the whole earth. Well, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, is it not? And who controls that? The so-called white man. But his judgment for being a thief has been pronounced. He's stolen whole continents and whole lands. Now, reading on, it says, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. What are they? Let's continue on. It says, I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh, the power of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. So this curse now has entered the house of the thief. We're all living in the house of the thief right now. We're stolen property as it is. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. Oh, in God we trust. Does he really trust in the Most High? Swear falsely by my name, man. They let you have freedom of religion. But meanwhile, it's all compromised because it's got to go through seminary schools, Bible colleges, and all this other stuff. And then he controls the narrative regarding what's true and what isn't. As soon as the so-called black man and Hispanic man wakes up and says, we're the children of Israel, man, he lays out every form of stumbling block, lie, distraction. He lays out all the hordes of the religious harem that he's got ready to attack, from the Egyptologists to the Pan-Africanists to the to all the religious denominations. I mean, he's already got the defense systems ready to go because he won't allow the truth to be known. But meanwhile, he will falsely swear by the name. You can say Yahweh. Oh yeah, we back all of that. Freedom of religion. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're getting condemned, canceled, false narratives put out upon us. You know. Finishing up, it says, and it shall remain in the midst of the house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So, you know, it's almost like a curse running around here now saying that you come from the house of the thief, or you're an American. Oh, you're American, huh? It ain't safe like that. You understand? So this is where the people got to consider. You know, that ain't always the best place to be now. That's why you see people, man, trying to get back home, or so-called home. Because, being in other countries right now ain't the business. 2 Ezra 9 and 1 and 2. We read this one all the time, but it's more relevant even as we read it now. It comes more to life. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest the parts of the signs past which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we see the visitation of the Most High, for sure. All throughout the earth, man, from the earthquakes to the plagues, the famines, the wars, the earthquakes, the floods, you name it. I mean, they just had a flood in Israel earlier in the week. Yeah, let me see that real quick. I didn't put that in here. Uh, I think it was in. Hold on, I forgot what part it was. See, they compromising the word flood with everything thing. I can't find it off the top. But yeah, they had some flooding over there too, of recent. But anyway, let's get back over here. This is then thou shalt understand that at the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So what we're seeing is prophetic. When you see the nations all throughout the world are saying the USA can go to hell, along with their Israeli counterparts, we see now that this is the time that the Most High is visiting the earth, all for the benefit of the children of Israel. Let's continue. Israel denies, and much of the uproars, they was expecting this to happen when the mouthpiece of Hamas said that he wanted to have a global jihad last Friday. Now they had protests, no question, but it wasn't to the magnitude that we're seeing now after that hospital got bombed. 500 people plus died in that bombing, and right now there's a big game of who done it. Israel denies it. Hamas immediately came out and said, "Man, the Israelis did it." Israel said, "Oh, we didn't do it. You did it." So we don't know what the true narrative is or what the truth is. Who did it? We know that the so-called white man will lie in a minute, and we know that Ishmael being a wild man and every man's hand against him, would he perform a jihad and in a false flag bombing of itself just to promote more reasons for their allied nations like Iran and Saudi Arabia and Yemen and all of them to join in and help? They needed a trigger point to move the hearts and the minds of the people. Hey, a sacrifice of 500 men for the greater good. They're no strangers to doing that. Self-sacrifice, man. They said, man, the man got 70 virgins waiting for him anyway. Could they have done it? Who knows? One thing's for sure, it damn sure went down, and it has escalated this war to even greater levels. So now they're saying Israel denies it was responsible for the blast at Gaza hospital that killed 500. And there's questionable things about that, man. They're saying that the hospital didn't get hit. It was a parking lot. Who knows? Who knows, man? But Israel denies it responsible for the blast at Gaza hospital that killed 500. Tel Aviv blames the Islamic Jihad rocket for carnage, but Palestine leader Abbas cancels his meeting with Biden. Slow Biden trying to go over there and be the mouthpiece, the serpentine snake that he is, and his forked tongue want to go over there and think that he's got the influence of stopping anything. When it's already clear that America's already vowed that they're going to back Israel until the end. So what type of conversation could Slow Biden offer to the Palestinians that's going to comfort them and make them feel as though that they're going to be treated equal, or they're going to get a fair judgment in that? None. That's why I said, man, we ain't got nothing to talk about, Esau. You've already made it clear where you stand. What are you going to come over here and tell me? That I need to calm down? You want me to go be more under your control? No, we're not doing that. So clearly they're backing away from even dealing with that. So the outrage of the people. Let me get another scripture out. Jeremiah. Outrage of the people. Jeremiah 50. Let's read 12. It says, "Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed." So speaking about America, the homeland, its heritage and pedigree coming from the fourth beast or whatnot. All of this ancestral, um, spiritual makeups that it's adopted from Sodom, from Egypt, to Babylon, you know, and itself being the motherland of all wickedness and the empire of the wicked. So they're going to be sore confounded. She that bear you shall be ashamed. So historically, man, America is going to be confounded and ashamed now. It says, "Behold, the hindermost parts of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert." This essentially is saying that America is going to be brought low. They're going to be the least of the nations, and America is going to become a wilderness, and it's going to be destroyed. Verse 13, it says, "Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly wasted." We've read that in Revelation 18 about the merchants of the earth witnessing the smoking, the perpetual smoking of America after it's getting hit with bombs and destruction, and the chariots destroy this place. It says, "It shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all their plagues." See, this is going to be the talk of the town. Everybody's going to know, man, this place was everything that the Israelites have been prophesying against and dealing with and talking about is all true. Continued on, it says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow." So all that have the ability to bend the bow, the bow being a weapon of archery, which is really dealing with aerial warfare. It says everyone that has the ability to have this aerial type of warfare, i.e., North Korea with nukes. How about Iran? They're getting their hands on some nukes. Saudi Arabia saying they want nukes. China, even Russia. It says, all you that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. I mean, there's going to be no sparing America, man. None at all. It's going to be unleashing hell on this place. Continue on. It says, "For she have sinned against the Lord." This is why we're seeing all these people, all the nations now are not standing in fear of America anymore. That's why when I showed y'all a while back, man, the Prime Minister of Turkey said all the nations hate America. Now it's just becoming even more emotional because of the definite and the parties that's involved in this particular war right now, and the religious fervor that surrounds it. Now people are not afraid to come out and say how they really feel. Well, hell, man, the men of Israel, man, and the virtuous daughters of the Lord, man, who have separated themselves from this place, man, have been talking about this for years on end, standing in great boldness, talking about this place. But now the Most High is saying, hey, spare no arrows, because she sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. Well, didn't the Most High tell them, "Hey, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet"? So when we're shouting down, you can hear, in some of the reggae songs, man, about chanting down on Babylon, man. Shout against her round about. This place is going to be condemned. So shout out against her roundabout, man. So, the Christian be talking about, man, you guys got to stop yelling, calm down. You're intimidating. You get more bees with honey. Sweeten it up a little bit. Oh, you mean seduce? Oh, that's what we should be doing? Sweeten it up a little bit, man. Make it seem like it's not as bad as it really is going to be. I mean, we know no other way but to tell you the truth. Shout against her roundabout. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. Oh, so is that why Slow Biden said, you know what? I know I said no border walls, but yeah, let's get some budget together so we can get them walls back up. But they talking about 1,200 so-called immigrants are coming into California alone daily. Texas is like 10,000. I mean, the walls are thrown down, man. This place it's being invaded. It's falling down. You know the old commercial, the life alert. I falling and I can't get up. Remember that old lady? Yeah, well, that's America. That's the future of America. Walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her as she have done, do unto her. And as the the so-called patriots of America, man, and ex-government and all, they're all running around talking about, oh, the border's wide open, man. You've got military-aged men, Arabs coming through and Muslims coming through. They could be sleeper cells. Be on alert. Be on alert. Oh, no. Close the border immediately. Well, it's a little too late for that, man. If they here, they already ready to rock. They already in. And as a so-called white man, we're talking about, oh, sanctuary cities, man. We love the brown niggas coming on in here. Come on. Come on over. And now once they flood in Chicago, New York, Texas, California, Florida, I mean, now it's all, oh, get rid of them now. Oops, we shouldn't have let them in. Well, a little too late for that. A little too late for that. See. So Babylon's going to be invaded. Babylon's going to get bombed. They got no getting around it. No getting around it. Let me get another scripture in Psalms. 91. 91. Let's see. Yeah, let's look at Psalm 91. Let's start at verse 5. It says, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. So the Most High is letting it be known, man, that the children of Israel, man, those that's in the grace and the mercy of the Lord, man, keeping the commandments of the Most High, man, exercising and moving in righteousness. The Most High said, man, we're not going to be concerned about the terror that night. The so-called white man's got, putting on these terror alerts and worried about every damn thing. Everybody that's got a damn turban on their head or, operating a damn 7-Eleven could be a potential enemy. Most High said, man, we ain't worried about that. We're moving in the spirit of the Lord, man, the protection and the guidance of the holy angels, And it said, nor for the arrow that flies by day. We're going to be seeing jets flying by, drones, missiles. The Most High said they're going to be coming during the daytime. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. It said, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness. This is the unseen plagues that the so-called white man is drumming up in these godforsaken laboratories that he's got, drumming up everything from Ebola to disease X to what's the other one that they just had, man? Marburg, the COVID, all of them things. And I really got to be careful again. Not to sound like a broken record, man, but YouTube is still on the hunt, man. They didn't remove like 2 more videos from our channel within the last 7 days, man. They just on the hunt, man. So I got to be careful with certain things. But anyway, so it says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in the darkness, because what? You're not going to be able to see these things, man. The so-called white man's up there spraying chemtrails, poison in the water, with harsh chemicals, man, from chlorine to lead to sterilants, all kind of madness going on in there. But the Most High said, but we're not going to be afraid of any of those things. It says, nor for the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. See, this is why if we're hunkering down, man, as they say, the hunker in place, in the secret place of the Most High. The Most High said, man, we'll be preserved, man. When we was in Goshen and all of Egypt was going through hell and the death of the firstborn and the plagues, we was in comfort and safety. So as we're here in America in spiritual Egypt, man, we're in our spiritual Goshens, man. If we're moving in the right spirit of the Lord, there's going to be multiple deaths flying around or around us. But the Most High said, man, many of us, Lord willing, is going to be spared. See? Verse 8, it says, only thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made Yahweh, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. So it says, we're going to see the reward that the wicked is going to reap. We've seen what they reap. Everything that they sown, the Most High said, we're going to see the judgment of the wicked. The Most High is going to reward them with the evils of their doings. Verse 10, it says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So this is the hope and the patience of the saints. When the Most High declares these things, man. So this ain't the time to get, nervous and scared and all that other stuff, man. This is the time that we rejoice. This is the time that we really lock in into the spirit of the Most High, man. Really draw more closer to your understanding of the laws and your repentance, man. Making good, with your brothers and sisters, man, in the nations. Because, we're all responsible for our salvation. And as Most High said, work it out with fear and trembling, right? So being blameless, these are the type of things, man, that the Most High is expecting for us to do. Isaiah 62, verse 11 says, behold, Yahweh hath proclaimed unto the end of the world, say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him and his work before him. So this is what we declare. That Yahweh, he's proclaimed the end of the world. It's already been understood, man. This is it. The end of the world as we know it, man. The dominoes has already been knocked down, and this is moving down. The sands of the hourglass. Remember, the Most High said, man, measure the time diligently. It's already been flipped. The clock has already been started, man. Countdown has begun. So it said he's already proclaimed the end of the world. But he says, say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. All these things is towards the salvation of us. It ain't say for everybody, for the world, whosoever. No. The daughter of Zion, our salvation is coming. It said, behold, his reward is with him and his work before him. And they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of Yahweh. And now shall be called, sought out, a city not forsaken, man. The Most High forgot us. Even though we go through our trials, our tribulations, man, we go through the hell, the torments, man, the confusion. We go through all kind of madness in life. But it's all part of the walk, man. It's all part of the diligence of proving ourselves and the Most High really purging us to be found worthy in that day. To be found worthy in that day, right? So also considering, one more. Also considering, maybe not one more. I might give you one more too. Considering that first slide, man, with all the nations of the world talking about America can go to hell. Look at Psalm 9 and 17. Psalm 9 and 17. Actually, let's start at 16. Actually, no, 15. So 15, it says, the heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. So, just reaping what you've sown, man. Getting back to Galatians 6 and 7. It says the heathen are sunk in the own pit that they made, man. They all say, man, you dug your own grave, lie in it. You've sown corruption, sown lies, sown murder, kidnap, destruction of whole nations and societies and civilizations. You've stolen. You've propagated genocide, population control, smallpox, Tuskegee. I mean, you name it, man. Doing experiments with radiation treatments on our people. All of these things. It's about now you're going to reap all these things, man. Well, look, you dug the pit, man. Go lay in it. The Most High is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Haggayon, Selah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forgot the Most High. So we see in the judgment, man, the death that's coming to the nation. This is why we're seeing headlines like that America can go to hell, man, because death to America is happening. That's what the nations are saying. YouTube, I didn't say that. I'm reading the headlines. Before you talk about I said something that was against the guideline. No. I read the headlines of the Daily Mail article. Don't do that. Got to cover myself, man, before they cut this live off. One more. Proverbs 14:13 says, the wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous have hope in his death. Did you see how the Most High plays, man? A Christian will read that, man, and shriek, eyes bug out, and say, no, I need a different translation. It didn't say that you can hope that someone dies. Didn't it say the wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous hath hope in his death? We're talking about the death of the wicked, man, whosoever that may be. You fill in the blanks. Y'all are very intelligent. You understand and know where and how this thing plays out. But the Most High said the righteous, meaning what? A righteous individual can hope in the death of somebody that's wicked, something that's wicked. Entity that's wicked. I mean, shouldn't we all want to get rid of all wickedness, unrighteousness, and unfaithfulness, and so forth and so on? Oh, okay. All right, let's get on back. All right. So Israel is denying they was responsible for the bomb blast of the hospital, right? Drones attack a U.S. military base in southern Syria, and there are minor injuries, the U.S. officials are saying. So how much closer are we to actual engagement of what's known as World War III? I mean, there's been attacks on U.S. military bases. Is America going to declare war? I mean, this is how much closer it's getting. And this ain't the only one. Look, rockets and drones hit an Iraqi base housing U.S. forces, security sources are saying. The United States has 2,500 troops in Iraq and 900 more in neighboring Syria on a mission to advise and assist local forces in combating Islamic State. So you've got drone attacks, rocket attacks from Syria to Iraq, and they had one in Yemen. I think I got it in here. Is it in here? No. If not, if I didn't have it, but they had another one in Yemen as well. And they said that one was 9 hours. They had to knock down like 15 drones and I think they said 9 rockets. So in multiple places right now, American forces have been under fire. Is America going to come out, jump out the window and say, this is it? We're getting ready to, ignite and engage ourselves in this war too? Because once they do, you know what time it is. You can count with me. 1, 2, 3. They have to go on record and say it's lit. It's on right now. I'm of the opinion that it's already started. I mean, but you can't. How many times is American bases going to be under attack before they say we're at war? I mean, are none of these things acts of war? I mean, why are they trying to hold back? Why are they? Most I believe that the U.S. is already over there, active, knocking stuff down, man. They just are doing it covertly, and they don't want to be identified as being the aggressors in anything, or them, handing off bombs and drones and this, that, and the third. But if American sites are being attacked and bombed, what are we talking about? Is this not an act of war? Let's continue. It says how the U.S. is ramping up firepower in the Middle East to deter Iran from starting World War III. With an armada of 13 warships, over 100 fighter jets, cruise missiles, spy planes, and 2,000 amphibious special forces massing in the region. So they're trying to shake down and intimidate Iran, but Iran ain't having it. Iran came on record and told the Israeli embassy, they see down here, it says Israeli embassy and U.S. Post meme of Keanu Reeves in the Matrix in response to Iran saying time is up. So Israeli embassy is using memes of Neo in the Matrix. Iran laid out a statement and said time is up. They're getting ready to go get active and go hot with this war, man. And America runs over there and says, hold on, before you do that, let me show you what we're working with. Remember, they went and sent over there, I forgot the name of the ship. It was the Eisenhower, one of them. They sent out their biggest battleship over there to start the intimidation. Now they sent out an armada of 13 more warships, 100 fighter jets, 2,000 amphibious vehicles over there, man, spy planes, drones. I mean, they got it going on over there. So how much closer are we to World War III? If they talking about it's on Iran to start it. No. I mean, come on, man. America's been starting this stuff when they ignited the whole proxy war between Russia and Ukraine and NATO. They've already been igniting with World War III and flirting with it before Iran even had anything to do with this particular war that's jumping off right now. Iran was already cozying up with Russia, letting it be known, man, we rolling together. Starting in 2024, they'll be officially part of the BRICS worldwide economy and the new militarization of a world power to be, opposition to NATO and America. So go figure. But America's trying to flex its muscle, man, but ain't nobody backing down. Look, first on CNN, U.S. Navy warship near Yemen intercepts multiple missiles. Yeah, this was it. U.S. Navy ship near Yemen intercepts multiple missiles, U.S. officials say. So Yemen, Syria, and Iraq all had attacks, U.S. bases been attacked. Whether it's the warships or whether it's the bases, they've all experienced attacks. And the U.S. is just shooting them down and saying, oh, you missed me, ha. We're not going to engage because if we do, we know what it's going to entail. So America's trying to be strategic before they make a real move. But it may be too late. See, a U.S. Navy warship operating in the Middle East intercepted multiple projectiles near the coast of Yemen on Thursday. Two officials told CNN. One of the officials said the missiles were fired by Iranian-backed Houthi militants who are engaged in the ongoing conflict in Yemen. Approximately 2 to 3 missiles were intercepted, according to the second official. That number's even been up now because they said it was like a 9-hour interaction between the two, right? And they said it was like 15 drones, a number of missiles, man, they had to shoot down, but it took 9 hours, man. So they engaged in it wasn't like the one little thing. They went like half a day on guard, shooting down, intercepting these particular attacks. So sooner or later, man, America's going to have to respond militarily if they keep coming under attack. So we're going to see. See, U.S. warns every American abroad to be cautious. That's what I was talking about earlier. You know, it ain't the time to be running around talking about, hey, yeah, American, yeah. You like America? No. All the nations is like, no. You can go to hell. Matter of fact, come here. See, the United Department of State issued a notice is rare now. Worldwide caution alert Thursday, urging any American who is overseas to exercise increased caution due to increased tensions in various locations around the world. See, any people out there, man, been marked for your allegiances with the beast. The U.S. said that there is also an increased potential for terrorist attacks, demonstrations, or violent actions against U.S. citizens. The U.S. Embassy in Beirut also urged American citizens Thursday to make plans to leave the country, quote, as soon as possible, while commercial options are still available. Notice that. They say commercial options are still available. So they're letting it be known that if you don't get out within a certain amount of time, man, there's going to be a flight ban. Commercial flights getting back to America is going to be shut down, man. And any of our people or whoever is stuck out there in multiple countries, man, you ain't going nowhere. At least in Lebanon, or at least in Beirut, or at least in the Middle East, you know, they already talking about, man, they might be shutting down commercial options as fighting intensifies near Israel's northern border with Lebanon. China's nuclear arsenal is on track to double by 2030, Pentagon reports. See, China thinks they slick, man. China thinks they're slick. They think they're gonna be sliding up in the back end. You know, they're gonna be next. Let's look at it. Isaiah 16:6 says, "We have heard of the pride of Moab. He is very proud, even of his haughtiness and his pride and his wrath, but his lies shall not be so." See, he's thinking he's got next, man. Xi Jinping, man, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be the next leader of the world, man, with the help of White Zaddy Putin. You know, my dear friend, as he calls him. You know, we're gonna go in lockstep with this new thing, man. I'm gonna liberate and give everybody. Yeah, but it ain't happening. The Most already said that Moab is gonna be destroyed because they're trying to model themselves after the same way that Babylon was set up. If Babylon ain't gonna succeed, man, you damn sure right, man. China ain't gonna do it. Most I said, man, he heard of the prize, so they're trying to build up their arsenal. They're trying to they're trying to establish themselves as the next world power. If you've seen the class I did about the East American Empire, I think China stands at number 3 with the nuclear arsenal. They're trying to up that up by 2030, man. They want to catch up with America and with Russia. They think they're going to be next. They think they're going to be the next world power. That ain't happening. Let's continue. I'm going to drop down reverse 13, 14, get right to the point. This is the word that Yahweh has spoken concerning Moab since that time. But now Yahweh has spoken, saying, within 3 years, as the years of a hireling, and the glory of Moab shall be contemned with all that great multitude, and the remnant shall be very small and feeble. So the Most High said, man, within a certain dispensation of time, Moab is going to be destroyed and shut down as well. And there's going to be a very small remnant left to go into captivity and to go into bondage. That's thus saith the Lord. So it doesn't matter that he's trying to gear up with he's trying to get his nuclear arsenal back up, man. He wants to, establish and get this war cracking with Taiwan. All of that is good because you know what? It all is going to lead towards final judgment, man. The return of Hamashiach Yahushua, the gathering of the elect, and the children of Israel, man, being put back in our land, man, and having servants and bondmen and bondwomen. Okay? So they're trying to up their nuclear arsenal. But the Most High said, man, I know about the pride of Moab, man, his lies and all that other stuff. He going to get shut down real quick. Real quick. China has also developed an arsenal of more than 500 operational nuclear warheads and is set to double that number by the end of the decade, exceeding previous Pentagon estimates, according to a Defense Department report. So they think they're going to be building up, man, so they can, get ready for this next war as well. All right. Let's continue. How the Israel-Hamas war is tilting the global power balance in favor of Russia and China. See, Russia and China is hedging their bets with Hamas, with Iran, with Saudi Arabia, with the United Arab Emirates. See, those are all countries, man, that are joining the BRICS come next year. I think including Argentina and I want to say Egypt. They got 6 countries joining forces next year. So the interest of this war destabilizing or causing issues with Israel and America, if it extends into the Middle East, that plays into the hands of Russia and China, because in the eastern regions where they're at, they already got a dominant control. So look at it. The war between Israel and Hamas isn't just risking a regional conflagration. It is also affecting the global balance of power, stretching American and European resources while relieving pressure on Russia and providing new opportunities to China. The long-term effect of the Middle East flare-up is hard to predict. It depends, first of all, on whether Israel is ultimately successful in its stated goal of eliminating Hamas as Gaza's main military and political force. Matter of fact, Netanyahu just said today, or it might have been yesterday, that they're going to fight all the way until the end, until they're victorious. So if we leave it to what he's saying, interpreting that is, we're going to fight until all of the Palestinians are destroyed in Gaza and we take over that land. That's essentially what he's saying. They're going to fight until they seize victory. Victory isn't going to be, hey, we quit. Okay, wave the white flag. We surrender. Put us back in the damn concentration camps that you've been having us in. We're ready for round, 70 of apartheid. You think he's gonna be he's gonna be cool with that? No, he's talking about, man, we're fighting until we destroy all them damn bastards, and we're gonna completely take over and occupy that land. All bets is off. Another critical issue is whether Israel's diplomatic relationships in the region and the global standing of its Western supporters can survive the rising civilian casualties in Gaza and the looming horrors of urban warfare in the densely populated enclave. So China and Russia are looking to capitalize on this, man. This is why they've got a vested interest with Iran come next year, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and all of that. This is going to be an impactful war because it's going to shift the balance of power in the Middle East. It's going to make America going to have to jump in, NATO going to jump in. I mean, there's multiple options to where we see World War III jumping off. But one thing we know for sure is it's going to jump up. Israel evacuates the border as deadly clashes raise a fear of a second war erupting. So it's not slowing down. No, remember, they were trying to migrate everybody to the south, saying the water's down there, so they can try to concentrate on the north and the West Bank regions to try to, get the war cracking in. But now it's extending up north. So look, Israel on Monday announced that it will evacuate 28 northern communities close to the Lebanon border in the wake of attacks which have broken out in the region in tandem with the ongoing conflict against Hamas in the south. So there's two wars already breaking out in the north and the southern regions of Gaza. So now, damn near the whole land is active. The mass evacuation raises fears that a second war is about to break out between Israel and Hezbollah, which is based in Lebanon. And Hezbollah is backed by Iran, So, I mean, this is deep, man. A joint statement from Israel Defense Forces and the Israeli Defense Ministry said the communities being evacuated stand within 1.2 miles of the Lebanese border. The residents will be taken to state-funded guest houses. Oh, isn't that nice? The statement added, providing no timeline as to when they will be able to return home. I mean, if there's a home when they get back. They're talking about, man, the Israelis is in there bombing homes, bombing communities that they're saying is, hideouts and command centers for Hamas. But meanwhile, Hamas, they operate in underground tunnels and, guerrilla warfare and all of that, man. How do they know? That's just an excuse, man, to bomb a whole damn house and community and say, oh, yeah, we've got intelligence that told us, man, this whole neighborhood over here, 5 of the 10 houses or huts or shacks or whatever they living in over there, 5 of the 10 of them is, Hamas strongholds, man, bomb it all. And while innocent, women, children, and men are being put to death over there, they're going to say, hey, our intelligence told us. These are Hamas strongholds. We don't know that. Far be it from him to tell the truth. Let's continue. Iran warns of a preemptive action against Israel. So Iran is stepping it up. Iran warned Monday of a possible preemptive action against Israel in the coming hours as Israel readies for a ground offensive of the Gaza Strip. Iran's been telling them, man, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't try to come up in here and commit to this ground invasion because they know what that means. They're going to be sliding through there, man, slaughtering people. Everybody in there, of the 2 million plus people over there, man, everybody isn't in Hamas. There's working class, men, women over there, man, they ain't got nothing to do with it. They don't like how they being treated by their oppressors over there. But they ain't active with the rebellion and the armies. But, the so-called white man is going to say, man, I can't tell who's who, bomb everybody. And Iran, in the same way Putin came out and said, man, you're operating the same way that you were saying that the Germans was operating against you. I mean, are you sure you want to do that? you're going to have all eyes against you, everybody watching. But the GMO news, isn't that what yeah, Kohav said, GMO news controlled by the GMO Jew. They're gonna say, man, listen, the people are gonna believe whatever we tell them. We've already got control of the media in their minds, man. The sheeple ain't gonna be questioning us. Everybody feels bad for us. Everybody knows we're the victims, man. Everybody knows we're the most bullied nation in the world, man. Everybody hates us, and we don't bother nobody. So try it if you want to. We can bomb the hell out of whole communities, man. Ain't nobody gonna say we was wrong. That's how conditioned they got the people so far. So Iran made threats that they would have a preemptive action. So far, nothing. But there's been a lot of political posturing, a lot of big words being thrown at this war, man. But nothing of significant action as of yet, outside of these drones and rocket strikes that were attacking U.S. bases over the last week. Iran's guards commander warns of another shockwave if Israel does not end the atrocities. So Iran is still throwing out there, calm it down. 2,000 U.S. troops are told to prepare for deployment in response to Israel-Hamas war. So America sending troops over there, troops on the ground. We just seen the big armada ships and destroyers and 100 fighter jets going on over there, man. So they're either acting preemptively. I mean, they're acting precautiously, trying to act like, don't do it. You see what we're coming with, don't do it. Or they're getting ready to go full-blown war. I'd like to believe it's the second. Middle East is on the verge of an abyss. UN warns as Gaza suffers and Israel prepares for an offensive. They're talking about the whole Middle East, man, being put into a position where, even when we see in red description, Revelation 16 about the Mediterranean. Let me see that real quick. About the Euphrates drying up and the kings of the east being prepared. See, they're already acknowledging, man, it's going to be turned into an abyss. It's going to be turned into a war zone. Verse 12, it says, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So we're going to see this place being turned into on the verge of an abyss as an offensive is being prepared. Warfare is being lined up. All the kings of the east now are declared that they're in preparations to go to war. I mean, from South Korea, North Korea, China, Russia. Russia's more of the north, but going more towards the far east. China, South Korea, North Korea, Japan, Taiwan. All the nations of the Middle East, from Iran to Turkey to Syria, Lebanon. I mean, they're all engaged right now. Look at this. Dozen of trucks carrying life-saving supplies for desperate trapped Palestinians are backed up at the still-closed Rafah crossing amid international calls for a brief humanitarian ceasefire to let equipment in and people out. So I think they just now opened up the border there at the Rafah crossing to let some of the trucks come in with the humanitarian aid. But for the last 12 days, they cut off all supplies and all resources coming in to help the people. And that's why the UN and all them was coming out saying, now, hold on, man. The Israelis is acting a damn fool. This is not humanitarian. Even though there's a war jumping off, there's still rules of engagement. There's still humanitarian morality that has to be stood on when it comes down to rules of engagement in war. And you're not going by those rules. Now, you're going to have to back up. Now, notice once they did that, I believe they opened up the borders and they let the aid in. So they cut off, man, food, water, all the resources, man, the power for the damn near last 2 weeks almost. And they're looked at as the good guys. Imagine that. So Slow Biden popped out, said, nah, we can't do that. Let some aid in. And then what? The Hamas let go two women, a mother and a daughter. So see how that works? They ain't in there torturing, raping, and killing them up. They're holding them hostages, and they're negotiating for what they need. So there you have it. Let's speak about real quick on the other war. Drug use among bored Russian soldiers is rife. I mean, look at it. This is what I'm saying. That war is pretty much over with, man. They over there talking about the Russian soldiers is bored. They're over there getting high, man, and getting drunk. I mean, what's going on? Meanwhile, Zelensky's running around, man, panhandling for money every damn place, getting more weapons, trying to get his face on TV every minute that he can. That war is pretty much a wrap. The UN, NATO, and all that, they're not going to come out and admit to it. They're trying to, maintain some sort of focused effort to say, no, we're not. It's not finished, man. We just bombed a key ship in the Black Sea that the Russians relied upon. We're still in it. They talking about, man, these damn heathens is over there, man, getting high, chilling. Look at it. Drug use among bored Russian soldiers is rife, with troops in the trenches smoking salt, which is a narcotic that induces paranoia and hallucinations, and washing it down with vodka. I mean, how intense is the war then, man? These guys are sitting up there waiting for something to crack off, and they like, man, ain't nothing happening in weeks, man. I'm getting high right now. After speaking to dozens of soldiers, drug users, and residents in Russian-occupied areas of Ukraine, an independent Russian newspaper reported that narcotics were easily available to servicemen. You see, that's another thing, man. The so-called white man does is promote the drug use, promotes the the defilement of the temples, man. You see all of these drug-free zones that they got in America, letting you know you go. They got drug kits, man, equipped with needles and everything that you need, man. The damn rubber band to tie up your arm, nice little fresh spoon, with paramedics on standby in case you overdose. We just seen last week, man. California was just getting ready to legalize psychedelic drugs, but Governor Newsom said, hold on, we got to make sure that we got some rehab programs in line too, man. We're gonna get them high and get them strung out, man. Give me some funding so I can make sure we got something to back up, so it can look like I'm the good guy. I create the problem, I give them a solution. Plus, I can siphon some of that money into my pocket too. That's how they work. So Russian soldiers over there getting high, man. They not tripping. Give me a break, man. This is unbelievable. Israel-Hamas war, how the unverified claim about beheaded babies spread. Same misinformation, different war. Remember Slow Biden said that he couldn't believe the reports when he saw them about all the beheaded babies and all that. And then he had to walk it back and said he never seen them. I mean, this is part of the propaganda arm. Part of the propaganda arm that's going on out there. Esau is so funny, man. This dude. So they got this whole narrative out there, man, that there's 40 beheaded babies, no, hold on, select. And they said there's 40 beheaded babies that's out there. Nothing's been verified. I did see a news article last night that had proclaimed that they had pictures of dead babies. All of the pictures were blurred out. You couldn't tell where, when, how the babies got killed. But again, they were all blurred, so you couldn't even make out that there was actual, pictures of. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find the Times of Israel. Yeah, look at it. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely a baby in here. Where this picture was taken, Where it came from, we don't know. It's blurred out. They're saying that this happened, at the hands of the Hamas. We don't know that. See, look at this. Who knows if that's a baby or not? We don't know. But they're saying that these were beheaded babies. Two pictures. Two pictures. Right? That's just one of them. But look at this. The sensational unconfirmed allegation. This is from Yahoo. This is not some backdoor propaganda site, independent media. They're saying that this is unconfirmed allegations. Same misinformation, different war. Sensational unconfirmed allegations that Hamas beheaded several babies in the southern part of Israel continue to baffle with each other. Baffle with each development from the region, only contributing to the chaos. The reports first surfaced on Tuesday, days after the start of the latest conflict between Israel and militant group Hamas, and quickly spread. As the old adage goes, a lie can travel the world and back again, while the truth is lacing up its boots. That's the truth. And so it did. The allegation that Hamas beheaded dozens, some said 40, of babies was shared by hundreds online, from news junkies to journalists, repeating the claim, including on networks like CNN. And y'all seen the video I played last week, where they had 2 or 3 Israeli infants and toddlers, and Hamas was wrapping up one of the kids' foot that got injured. Another one, he took out the playpen and was comforting it. The last one, he was giving him something to drink, told him say his prayers before he drank. I mean, I didn't see no torture. Now, whether they was acting for the camera, they could be, but we don't see no evidences of them doing otherwise. But y'all remember this? That's why they said same tactic, different war. This is the Gulf War from 1990. The Naira testimony. This is a 15-year-old girl that went out there before the Gulf War began in 1990. They used her testimony as the reasons to go to war. And she was saying that the Kuwaiti soldiers was in there killing the babies in the incubators and all this other stuff. And that's what made America rise up and say, we got to stop these savages. Under the hands of George Bush Sr., and then his son, Baby Bush, in 2001, utilized the same thing, saying that there was weapons of mass destruction in Afghanistan. They constantly be making up these damn lies, and then they go to war. Well, hey, this should be more evidence of knowing that there will be a war, because they're using the same tactic. But there's 40 beheaded babies. We got to go over there and do something. The savages, the sand nigga savages is over there cannibalizing and taking off babies' heads and raping all the women and da-da-da-da-da. And then it's like, do you have proof of that? Can we see something? Nothing. Putin even said, look, I don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak. But you making these claims, man, can we see the pictures? Can you show the proof? And they looked at him like, man, how are you just going to even ask us for that? How dare you? You don't take our word for it, man. Look at us. We always tell the truth. So look at this. The Naira testimony was false testimony given before the United States Congressional Human Rights Caucus on October 10th, 1990, by a 15-year-old girl who was publicly identified at the time by her first name, Naira. The testimony was widely publicized and was cited numerous times by U.S. senators and President George H.W. Bush in their rationale to support Kuwait in the Gulf War. In 1992, it was revealed that Naira's last name was al-Sabah, and that she was the daughter of Saud al-Sabah, the Kuwaiti ambassador to the United States. Oh, so she was a ally of the United States. She was being used as a pawn by the United States. Oh, okay. Furthermore, it was revealed that her testimony was organized as part of the Citizens for a Free Kuwait public relations campaign, PR campaign, propaganda. Oh, which was run by the American public relations firm Hill and Knowlton for the Kuwaiti government. Did you hear that? So they use public relation firms. I mean, if y'all at the start of the Russia-Ukraine war, I advertised a movie called Wag the Dog. Some of y'all may have seen it, some of y'all might not have. But if you haven't, go check out Wag the Dog. And that will explain and it'll give a great inspiration to see how America does use public relation firms, Hollywood studios, actors, so forth and so on, man, to promote propaganda and narratives. So, matter of fact, give y'all a just in case. You're looking for it, you want to know what it is. This is it right here. Oops. Wag the Dog. 1997. Robert De Niro and forgot this Edomite's name, man. What's that dude's name? Dustin Hoffman. Another GMO Jew. But yeah, nonetheless, good movie, and it explains and gives us understanding, man, what they was doing here. Utilizing public relations, man, from Hill to Knowlton for the Kuwaiti government. Following this, Al-Shabaab's testimony has come to be regarded as a classic example of modern atrocity propaganda. In her testimony, Nayara claimed that after the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait, she had witnessed Iraq soldiers take babies out of incubators in the Kuwait hospital, remove the incubators, and leave the babies to die. So there you go. Always attacking the babies. That's the reason why everybody, is in uproar. And it was all a lie. And America used it as their rationale to support the war, went on over there, slaughtered, destroyed, and then sanctioned the hell out of Iraq, to where Iraq now is still reeling financially, trying to piece together and get their civilization back on track. But ain't nothing happened so far. And we talking about 1992. So we talking, how many years is that? Help me with my math. That's damn near 8 years? Not 28. More than that. 33 years or something like that? I don't know. My math is bad. So I don't know when the war actually ended. I think that, well, at least saying in 92. So we started in 90, 92. So you got 8 years to 2000. We're at 2023 now. Yeah, you're talking about damn near 31, 32 years. Yeah. So look at that. And they're still using the same tactics. Let's continue on, man. Putin begins his visit in China, underscoring ties amid the Ukraine war and Israeli-Palestinian conflict. So Putin is rubbing, he rubbing his hands together. Him and Xi Jinping, man, his close friend, as they say. They look at the war, man. They said, "Hey, man, we got to chop it up." Xi Jinping, man, I'm on my way. Let's talk. We got to take advantage of the situation. We got America and we got got NATO by the balls right now. We got to make moves. See, and China saying, well, I want Taiwan. I want, Russia saying, yeah, I need Europe. We both want the Middle East, but we can, ration that out to Iran and, Saudi Arabia. But, we got to take advantage of this. So they're coming together. Mind you, Putin still has a warrant out for his arrest. Why? How come they ain't tell China, hey, you need to go ahead on and arrest him, man? He's got a warrant out for his arrest for trafficking children. Unless that's a lie. Unless they done forgot about that too. Remember that? They talking about when he was supposed to meet with the in South Africa when they had that that conference over the BRICS in August, and they were telling the South African president, man, you're gonna be held accountable if you don't arrest him. And one of the ambassadors over there was like, man, please, I'll go pick him up at the airport my damn self. The hell with America and they damn warrants. And Putin was like, nah, chill. We ain't gonna do that. I'll be there. I'll just be on Zoom. Don't worry. Same warrant's still out, man, but they ain't pressing Xi Jinping to arrest him. That's so, man. A lot of that is just theater and BS, man. So look at it. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in Beijing on Tuesday for a visit that underscores China's support for Moscow during its war in Ukraine, as well as Russian backing for China's bid to expand its economic and diplomatic influence abroad. The two countries have forged an informal alliance against the United States and other democratic nations that is now complicated by the Israel-Hamas war. China has sought to balance its ties with Israel against its relations with Iran and Syria, two countries that are strongly backed by Russia and with which China has forged ties for economic reasons, as well as to challenge Washington's influence in the Middle East. The precious Middle East. Everybody's fighting over it, but it's been reserved for us. That's where the Valley of Jehoshaphat is going to play out. We talked about that in Joel 3. This is why all the focus is there. That's why we read earlier, man, and we said that the Middle East is going to become an abyss because of all the activity that's getting ready to take place over there. Israel shuts down more than 100 Binance accounts to block Hamas funding after it was revealed the terror group received $41 million in between 2021 and 2023. See, that's what's so cold too. You know, we know that the so-called white man is moving towards a digital-based economy. This is another reason why, far be it from me to talk anything financial advice, but to have something that you can actually hold and process in your hands, because if you're fully invested in digital, crypto, stocks digitally, and whatever the case may be, man, they can cut that off at any particular time, man. Push of a button, man. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. If you can't have something hard in your hands, they can cut you off. You see that? 100 Binance accounts, because they said they was getting money digital and digital currencies from Iran and other sources. Because people saying, well, how the hell is Hamas getting access to all this stuff? They were utilizing CBDCs and all the other stuff. Right? So wallets linked to Hamas received digital currencies worth $41 million. Palestinian Islamic Jihad, another designated terror group, received $91 million. Israel has now ordered frozen over 100 accounts across multiple platforms. See, the so-called white man controls it all, man. Push the button, he can shut off all your damn, all your economic opportunities. So know that when the ish hits the fan here, which it will, everybody that's all locked into all the digital, this, that, I mean, it's pretty much a wrap as it is. I was just reading an article earlier this morning, man, where it said that your dollar, when it comes down to investing and all that, it said the dollar is worth half than what it was in 2020, at the end of 2020. They pretty much was, the article was pretty much acknowledging that saving up to buy a home and investing in real estate right now is damn near impossible. It's not even worth it right now. You could be paying damn near half a $1,000,000 more for a house than it was worth a year and a half ago, because of the interest rates, because of the inflation rates and everything else. I mean, everything is pretty much ballooning up to where, as the old saying goes from Klaus Schwab, you own nothing, have nothing, and be happy, man. Where buying in homes is pretty much unaffordable at this point. You're talking about 8% interest for financing, and that's if you got A1 credit and you dropping 20% down on a house that's already overvalued and overpriced. And then they saying that your dollar is worth half than it was just 3 years ago. So imagine that, man. This place is already pretty much throwing in the towel on the dollar, and they're ready to institute the Fed Now coin, the digital ID, so you can get your little digital credits, being good little citizens of the B system, you know, and then they regulate what you can buy with it. If you don't utilize it, man, we'll strip it. We'll take it from you. See, so they use you look. You said how many drug cartels use the American dollar? I don't know, but I'm sure they diversifying in everything, from the dollar to crypto to embezzling their monies and all different kind of things. I know they had I had an article in the news clip that was showing. Matter of fact, they were some Chinese, man. They're laundering their money with the Chinese. Drug cartels and China is working together, laundering money in the yen and all of that. So they laundering their money in multiple different ways. So, but anybody that's smart, man, they ain't hedging all their bets against George Washington and Benjamin Franklin. But they're trying to force everybody into the digital thing because now it's more controllable. So if you can shut down 100 accounts, man, that have millions of dollars in it, you pretty much over with. Let's continue. Taiwan has issued a chilling warning if Israel-Hamas war is not stopped, because they know they next. They know they next, but hey, China already said, we already talked about it, man. China said by 2027 or before, they next. They've already acknowledged that. Let's see if it comes up. Okay. China wants capability to take Taiwan by 2027. U.S. Navy chief warns China could invade Taiwan before 2024. The Taiwan foreign minister warns of conflict with China in 2027. So they already know that if this war becomes more in favor of Hamas and they're able to take down the big bad, Israeli IDF army and American, all that, Taiwan knows they don't stand a chance. But they know they're next. They know they're next, right? So we see everything lining up slowly but surely, man, in its order. Oh, man, see that? Yeah, and it's going to really be bad is when they start talking about bringing the draft back, and that ain't too far away from a conversation. They trying to contemplate about women. Yeah, I mean, they already got the damn transformers up in there. I heard somebody call them transmissions. That was funny. They got the transformers up in there, man. And they were talking about the state of the military, man. They're having a hard time recruiting. A lot of the the couch potato video game heads, man, can't pass basic training. Overweight, the whole nine, man. So America's in shambles when it comes down to army and warfare, man. They still got the technology, they still got the weaponry, but finding qualified people to operate and deal with them, that's the whole thing. Let's continue on. Pro-Palestinian protesters take to the streets across the world in scenes of rage as they burn the Israeli flag and condemn President Biden ahead of IDF imminent Gaza ground invasion. So this was another picture that I had for the first one. They had go to hell. But Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, South Korea, Somalia, Australia, all over the world, man. They're sick of these people. Now look at this. They get the headlines. Melbourne pro-Palestinian protest. Shocking. Wow. Shouts death to every Israeli. Well, that's terrible. How can they say that, man? That's not right. Every Israeli should die. That's what they said, man. That's terrible. One man said this. This gets major headlines. Oh, what about them? What about these guys?
Fuck Palestine! Palestine to my dick! What do you think?
response should be from Netanyahu and the military to Gaza.
Kill Palestinians!
Whoa. How come this isn't getting major headlines? How come this is only by an independent journalist, man, who uploaded this to his Twitter or whatever it's with Instagram and made a little YouTube reel? Where's the major headlines? Oh, that's right. They're owned, operated, and controlled by the same people. I see. You see it right there. Kill all Palestinians, all of them. One guy says it in Australia. It's major news headlines. Let them say it. Oh, it's not a problem. And meanwhile, we know that this is their spirit. Look at this. This is their spirit, and this is how they operate. Remember this? Esther, the 3rd chapter. We'll read verse 1. After these things, did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. The Agagite. Hold on. So Haman was an Agagite. Hopefully y'all know where I'm going with this. Let's get it straight. Agag. Who was that? Numbers 24. So Numbers 24, it says that No. First Samuel. I'm gonna go back to Numbers 24. First Samuel 15. Just to get right to the point, man. 15, 7 and 8. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to shore that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. So Agagites are Amalekites. These are the descendants of the GMO Jews. And Haman was an Agagite. So he was an Amalekite. Numbers 24 and 7 says, he shall pour the water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. So Agag was a king of the Amalekites, right? And that's who Haman was a descendant of. So for those of us who've who've taken part in Purim, we know that this is part of the holy memorial in remembrance of this man's plot, the Agagite, Haman, and his plot to destroy, to kill, obliterate, and to commit genocide against all of the Lord's people. So Amalek has always had the attitude of kill everybody. Remember that? We're gonna go back to that video in a minute, but let me read this. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman. Also, if you don't bow down, if you don't abide by what they say, what they do, the narratives they put out there, then you're word. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you hate them people if you don't agree with them. If you don't bow down, you're looked at as an enemy. You need to be canceled. Oh, you need to be jobless, homeless, so forth and so on, man. You need to be hated if you don't bow down to what they say. Sound familiar? All the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then the king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand. So Mordecai, a Jew, true Jew, I believe of the seed of Benjamin, told him, man, F off. I'm not bowing down to this fool. I'm not bowing down to this fraud. No. Continuing on, it says, for he had told them that he was a Jew. He said, I'm the real one. See? And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. Oh, you don't want to submit to the lies. You don't want to submit to my oppression. You don't want to submit to me being the chosen. Oh, we're not having that. So you're mad now, huh? Let me read this again. Verse 6, and I'll stop. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews. Hello? So the Amalekite way of life and the Amalekite thinking is destroy everybody. Destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. What are we seeing here? What are they saying here? They're the descendants of the Gagites right here.
Fuck Palestine! Palestine to my dick! Kill all Palestinians! All of them! Not one left from the river to the sea, Palestine will be deceased! And Israel need to do like this. You see? Now Gaza. Like this. Gaza need to do like this. Or like this, but all this Jewish. Two options.
We gotta wipe them off the fucking map. I'm walking about every fucking plant them like a parking lot.
Yeah, wait.
Planting them out. Once they're
There's
full,
nothing else you can do. They proved to us that there's nothing else you can do. We tried, and
we tried everything. It doesn't work. We have to wipe the flat off the fucking map, like a fucking parking lot.
I'm not stopping till all Arabs are wiped out.
I think now is the time that we need to erase Gaza.
Oh, see that? But is there any condemnation for them? I mean, and this is in a protest, so-called protest in New York. I mean, you talking about the Big Apple, big city. You know, this is where a lot of the media even stems from. Where's the global coverage of that? How come they're not being plastered all over the news? The dude said, man, kill all Arabs. I mean, it went beyond Palestinians. Oh, but that's not going to get any coverage, will it? No, of course not. Of course not.
Palestine.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. You talk about Esau, man. They didn't pulled him out of some sewer. Illinois man charged with a hate crime and stabbing 6-year-old Muslim boy to death and wounding the boy's mother over ongoing Mideast conflict, police and relatives say. So this guy, you know, got drawn straight out the sewer, kills a 6-year-old kid, and injures his mother over this Mideast conflict. Have we read any? We've read 2 stories so far that I've been able to locate and understand. The one teacher that got killed in France, and then the one person that got stabbed in, I think it was in China. And they said that it was a global activity going on with knife attacks all over the place when it was just them 2 countries, 2 incidences. And France got nervous and sent out 7,000 troops for one knife attack. I mean, but meanwhile, we're seeing here open protests of Israelis talking about kill and wipe out all the Palestinians, all the Arabs, old dirty, you know, white man over here killing kids. And they're still looked at as justified. Hey, they're supporting the GMO folks, man. What's wrong with that? See the bias and the hypocrisy? A Plainfield man stabbed a 6-year-old boy to death and seriously injured his 32-year-old mother after targeting them because they were Muslim. And the man was upset about the ongoing conflict involving Hamas and Israel. The Will County Sheriff's Office and the family relative said Sunday, Joseph Kazuba, 71-year-old, Plainfield was charged with first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder. He looked like he's, you know, straight out of The Hills Have Eyes. We talked about that last week, man. He looked inbred, you know, something up with him, man. Look at that damn pickle nose he got. He's all jacked up, man. Went out there and killed a 6-year-old kid, man, because he was a Muslim. That's the bloodlust, man, that the so-called white man has. But meanwhile, the narrative is flipped. Be prepared for lone wolf attacks. Be prepared. The border's wide open. They coming in. They're going to, you know, bomb and stab everybody. And it's their own people doing it. Unbelievable. Oh, the White House got endless pockets now. They need $106 billion. So where are they going to get this money from? If America's already $33 trillion in debt, we need $106 billion now to fund Ukraine and Israel. So America's going to fund both wars, right? Which means we got to open up the printing presses, get the money going, make it rain. So that means what? Inflation's going to be going back, skyrocketing. that means that food prices is going to be out of control. That means that they're going to find more hidden taxes to try to hit you with. I mean, this is how ridiculous the taxes are. I rented a car. Matter of fact, I rented a SUV for Tabernacles. It was going up in the, it doesn't even matter. But anyway, I look at the receipt. They had me paying a tourist tax. I said, how the hell you charge me a resident of California, man? Here I am, a whole damn near my whole life. You talking about I have a residential, I have to pay a tourist tax when you're renting a car now. And I'm saying, what qualifies me as a tourist that I have to pay a tax on that? This is the type of foolishness that's going on, man. Yeah, the monopoly money's about to start ringing. $106 billion so that they can fund some wars. In the movie South of the Border documentary, man, George Bush, Argentina's president, they was having financial issues. And George Bush told him, you got to start a war. He's like, that's what we do. Like, that's how we make the money. The war generates money. You can always get defense spending bills. You can always get budgets when there's a war cracking off. That always gets the money flowing. It's going to impact stock markets and everything else. So that's why America's only known peace for like 16, 17 years. Other than that, man, it's always been engaged in a war. Because they can always go to the Federal Reserve and they can say, hey, we're caught up, man. We need some money. Print it up. You know I'm good for it. And they know damn well they got no intentions and have no ability to pay it back. So they need $106 billion, man. Meanwhile, you got people miles long up in the Bay Area living in RV campers and out their cars. I go, usually weekly, man. I go hit a park, do some walking, just pull up, meditate, whatever for a little bit. I see people all the time parked and posted up, living out their cars at parks, from minivans to mobile homes to just their cars. They go to the bathroom, they're using the bathroom to clean up and all that other stuff, man. They be posting up. I'm seeing it even more often. People living out their cars, man. We tent cities all over the place, man. Food line, bread lines is all up. Food banks is getting broken down, but they can get 100 some odd billion. They can't get it for no inner city programs, man, to stop the gang violence, man, to incorporate businesses for it, to get Jakes off the streets. Oh, they ain't spending on that. Oh, but they can get these other wars going. So the White House on Friday asked Congress for nearly $106 billion to fund ambitious plans for Ukraine, Israel, and the U.S. border security, but offered no strategy for securing the money for a broken Congress. See, they still are in dire straits, man. They have no leadership in the Congress. I'll cover that in a little bit later. The last guy, Jim Jordan or whatever his name is, they try to get to be the House Speaker for the Republicans, man. They voted him out 3 times. They struck him out 3 times. They had the dude before him. What was that dude's name? Scalise. They tried to get him, booted him up out of there after the first go round. Jim Jordan was next. You talking about third string now. He went up there once, struck him out with the votes. He said, no, we got to do this again. They did it again, struck him out with the vote. Third time, he was getting less and less votes every time he went back. They finally just kicked him to the curb. They've got no leadership right now in the House. No voice, no speaking, no nothing. Complete turmoil. The budget that they approved is going to be up in a couple of weeks. And here they are talking about we need $106 billion and they got no strategy. This is why America's finished, man. U.S. President Joe Biden request for the funding comes days after he visited Israel and pledged solidarity as the country bombards Gaza following an attack on Hamas militants that killed 1,400 people in southern Israel. I mean, you got $106 billion. They cut off all the supplies and everything, and they just now are letting in the supplies for the last 12 some odd days. You're supposed to be humanitarians and leaders of the free world, but the Arabs, you ain't giving them nothing for the last damn near 2 weeks. But you can drum up and say we need to go ahead and get some billions over there to Israel. Very interesting. Very interesting how they got that. Is that right, Parah? It's ironically, last Powerball went up to $107 billion. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Very interesting. By grouping Israel, funding with Ukraine, border security, refugee assistance measures to counter China and other hotly debated priorities. I mean, this is outrageous. They just gonna pull money out they two cheeks, to get this money up, man. But just expect harder times coming up, man. Because once they get to printing, that inflation gonna be kicking in, man. You talking about further destitute people when it comes down to economic circumstances. It's gonna get a little bit worse. Blinken meets resistance in courtship of Egypt and Saudi Arabia on the Gaza war. I mean, who's trying to talk to him? Who's trying to talk to him? Before we go, speaking about the what's the name, man? The economy. Proverbs 24. See, the so-called white man loves to reward evil, man. There's always a little gold at the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, man. If you commit yourself to evil and wickedness, man. This is why you see people always doing all this foolishness and folly, man, on social media. The more that they, embarrass themselves and do foolish things, they're doing things for clout. Clout is the new currency. You're doing everybody's doing all this foolishness, man, trying to get some views and trying to get some attention. But look what verse 20 says. For there shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. So even though America is trying to reward these two nations for fighting wars for them, man, their candle's still going to get put out, man. They still the wicked. The Lord said, man, there's no reward for them. They're trying to reward and say, yes, keep engaging in this war, Ukraine, even though you're getting destroyed and you're getting bombed, and we're going to send you more money. Some people, I've seen some information, man, that was saying that part of this whole budgeting and funding that Slow Biden keeps coming up with is hush money because of the deals that his son was engaged in, and more than likely him, or at least having knowledge of them. The Ukrainians could pop out and be like, hey, look, we're going to spill the beans, man. We got all the receipts. Now you give us money or else. We hear about all the corruption between the Ukrainian generals, man, and the oligarchs of Russia and all of that. So it could be hush money, because it damn sure ain't helping them in the war. If the Russians are bored over there getting high, I mean, how much fighting could really be happening at this point? Ain't gonna be no rewards, man. Esau be running around trying to flash a little cash in people's faces. No. $107 billion. Sirach 21:8 says, he that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial. So the sustaining of Ukraine, sustaining of the state of Israel and all of that, it's all built upon other men's money, man. Everybody should know by now. I'm seeing finally, information is starting to circulate. All praise to the Most High. But us as Israelites, man, have had the knowledge of the Balfour Declaration for decades upon decades now, and I'm seeing, now alternative people like, hey, did you know what the truth is about Palestine and Israel? The Balfour Declaration, 1917. Like, yeah, you're a little late. You're a little late. But at least you finally joined the party, But all of this has been established with other men's money, man. The state of Israel don't belong to neither one of them damn heathens. It's been sustained through a damn fake declaration and acts of war and financing coming from America that the Israeli people are over there occupying our land. Same with the damn Palestinians. That was Ham's land originally. Before Arab caliphates and them having, particular wars and migrations getting over in there. But that land ain't neither one of theirs, man. But the so-called white man saying, hey, you know what? I'll fund it. And you've established America using other men's money. The Federal Reserve is not even a conjunction of the governmental structure of America. It's a private bank, but they printing it up. They stealing and they robbing everything else to support this place and other wars and other countries of colonization. But the Most High said, man, it's all going to lead to their destruction at the end of the day. He that buildeth this house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial. So here they are. They're running around here trying to get money together. But ain't nobody paying attention to that because the Most High said it's all going to be rubble at the end of the day and be purged. So Anthony Blinken, he's running over there looking for attention, meets resistance and courtship of Egypt and Saudi Arabia over Gaza war. So Egypt and Saudi Arabia shut him down and said, man, we ain't talking to you. Enough with the fork-tongued madness. White man thinks he can run around here, man, and establish his rulership everywhere he goes. You clearly came out and said you don't want nothing to do with you stand in solidarity with the Israelis, and then you want to go to their allies and say, hey, let's talk about this. I think you guys need to hear me out, you know. But meanwhile, they're getting turned down. Slow Biden got his meetings with the Palestinian leaders. They told him, man, go to hell. We ain't talking to you. They split up and they sent Anthony Blinken over there to go talk to the Saudi Arabia, and they was like, nope, we ain't talking to you. So Obadiah says, verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that sitteth in his heart. Who shall bring me down to the ground? See, the white man is still under this, this notion that everybody's still going to bow down to him. Man, the power structure that was established by him, it's dwindling. And the nations now are no longer in fear. The nations now are ready to stand up. And they're all doing it for us, really. When it's all said and done. That's why we're in our spiritual ghosts, man, getting our acts together, man. Getting our understanding together. Getting our repentance together. Gathering ourselves together, O nation, our desire. Right? See, the pride of thy heart hath deceived them, man. The white man still think his voice means something to these nations. The nations is like, man, get the hell out of here. We don't want to hear no damn fork-tongued negotiations, man. We don't want to hear. No, we're not talking. Look at Proverbs 25 and verse 19. It says, I'm sorry. 19. It says, confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. So this is the confidence that he's going through, but he's not faithful. He's not confident in what's going on in the situation. He's saying, man, let me go see if I can go talk to him. Let me see if I can work something out. No, there's no confidence in an unfaithful man. Number one, they have no faith in the Most High. They have no faith in the Scriptures. They have no faith in the chosen people of the Lord. So the confidence is already broken. But now they're in a time of trouble. They said it's like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint, man. You can't move. You can't eat. No substance. No support. It's pretty much over with. Useless. See? So when he's going over there trying to have these talks and he's getting shut down, that's showing you more that the so-called white man is done with. His influence is starting to diminish. Okay? So Blinken meets resistance and courtship of Egypt and Saudi Arabia. They telling them, get up out of here. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Please pray a Maryland judge. I mean, this goes back to, 2nd Ezra 15, man. We just seeing the spirit of the people, man, not regarding kings or princes. Please pray Maryland judge Andrew Wilkinson shot dead at his home in Hagerstown attack as troops rushed to protect others. This judge was shot and killed by a man who he ruled unfavorably in a custody battle that he had with his wife. So the man obviously found that the judge's address and went and popped him in his driveway because the judge ruled not in favor of him. And this is an Edomite killed him, one of his own. But it's just showing you the spirit that's happening on the people now. as we're moving into, uh, 2nd Ezra 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So people moving it according to their own judgments, they're not going to regard authority no more. You're not going to be able to rely on FEMA and the government to come save you, help you. They're going to be worried about their own families and their own homes. Trust me. As surviving and witnessing and being a part of the riots in California in 1992 with Rodney King. I mean, the police, SWAT, all them, they was in the, please, man. They had designated places that they were standing to protect of interest to to the cities. But as far as regular stores, mall, whatever, they was not touching it, man. You could be walking down the street, literally walking down the street carrying TVs and all kind of stuff, man. The cops are just driving right past, not tripping at all. They rushing, trying to get back to their homes. They trying to get back to home base. Some of them quitting, saying, "I ain't signed up for this. I'm out of here." This is the type of chaos that's going to be happening. That's one mayor. I mean, that's one judge. But I remember, like, I think last year there was like 2 or 3 that they got killed. Not even judges, but they were like city councilmen and all of that. It was a female, I think, and 2 other men. One I know in particular was in New Jersey. But if y'all remember that, man, so people ain't caring about, over there in Ecuador, man. They killed 2 of the presidential hopefuls over there. So people are already starting to have the spirit on them, man, where they're not caring or fearing about authority and structure, government. It's going to be sedition, as they say, man, which is pretty much a rejection of a governmental structure or order. Look at this chess move, man, the so-called white man's trying to do. CVS pulls popular over-the-counter cold medicines from store shelves today after FDA said they didn't work. So we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. They were talking about allergy medicines and all of that. So now they're talking about different cold medicines don't work either. You know why that is? Because they want you to get on track with the shots in your arm, telling you, get your flu shots. It's the only thing that's going to protect you. Forget about that over-the-counter stuff. I mean, and we know, Sirach 38, the Most High tells us about the medicines of the earth are the things we should be seeking first, in addition to, or first and foremost, is repenting to the Most High, seeking Him for healing. Then he tells us about the work of the apothecary and the herbs and whatnot, man, the homeopathic and the herbal remedies as being things of substance. But let's face it, some of us have to utilize over-the-counter methods of healing. That's just the truth of the matter. But now they're trying to compromise and say, hey, we're taking some of this stuff off the market where it's unavailable anymore. You're going to have to come and get this Pope. As they're trying to organize a new way of methodology for medicines and all of that other stuff, man. So when they start pulling these drugs, these over-the-counter healing or drugs off the counter, the only other options that they're going to present is roll up. Yeah, I mean, that's the first methodology that we should be seeking is number one, looking to the Most High, praying and seeking forgiveness or repenting or whatnot. Then it said, man, try your home remedies and get those things go. But sometimes you get something that's super heavy. You might need that antibiotic, or you might need something else a little bit, or you might have waited too long. And the herbs taking forever in a day, you can't get it done. You need something for some relief. Hey, some people utilizing over the counter, but the thing is this: white man is trying to monopolize all of that stuff, man. So we see it already. Look at it. Hackers are stealing DNA. Hackers stole 1 million people's DNA. What they'll do with it is baffling. Popular company provides users with a comprehensive ancestry breakdown based on their DNA, according to the leaked data Its customers include Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Although this has not been verified, the data breach was not a hack of company systems, but a mass targeting of individual users in what is known as a quote credential stuffing attack. This is where hackers test usernames and passwords from the previous hacks to see if people are using the same details. It's a digital equivalent of opportunistic burglars trying all the doors on the street. Such hacks are not uncommon, but this did raise a big question. What use is your DNA to a hacker? To clarify, according to 23andMe and from the information posted online, no actual genetic information was taken. High-level account data was accessed, such as personal information and users' geographic ancestry breakdown. Bottom line is, everything got backdoors in it. People that are submitting their DNA testings and submitting their DNA to these particular companies. I brought out an article a while back. BlackRock, one of the, or was it BlackRock or Blackstone? One of these investment companies have bought out a couple of DNA companies. The question is, what do you want with people's DNA? Now we're seeing hackers are hacking into the system databases to see if they can actually access and get to the information. Whether or not they took the genetic information is irrelevant. They can give the information to those who do want your genetic information for sale. You understand what I'm saying? So if I'm a hacker, I don't know nothing about genetics, but guess what? If I can get access to your genetic information and somebody on the sidelines is over here saying, I'll pay you billions or millions if you can give me the access to that information, that's what I'm selling. I'm selling access to the information, not that it had to be used right now. So we see here, man, even that's being attacked as they're trying to establish a biometric ID system, a global watchdog system for all to fall victim to. Very interesting that hacking is going on to DNA companies now. Oh, Joe Biden's brother Jim, we just seen his other brother, posting nude photos to gay websites. Now his other brother, Jim, is tied to a fraud scheme where he allegedly used $125,000 in business loans for personal expenses, including Philadelphia Eagles season tickets. I mean, the Biden family, man, knows no end of corruption, man. From his son to both his brothers to himself. I mean, these people are unbelievable, man. Jim Biden, man. The Biden's man is something else, man. I mean, it speaks for itself. You see what's going on. Fraud scams. His brother Jim, his son. And you mean to tell me Slow Biden don't know nothing? None of this is going on under his watch, man. Nobody's came in and confided in. None of his brothers or his son came and said, Dad, man, I'm in the mix. Oh, hey, Joe, man, I'm a younger brother, man, but I messed up. You don't think they didn't talk to him about it, man? There's no way he doesn't know. No way he didn't know this stuff is going on, man. He's involved in it, man. Unbelievable. Who counts as a disaster prepper these days? Lots of us. Just showing you, man, that the uptick in people being more conscious about preparing for imminent emergencies is on the rise. So if you haven't started, you might be a little late on the freight, but you might want to just start making sure you're prepared for anything, but faithfully remain locked in with your focus with the Most High being your ultimate protection, comfort, and shielding. But there may be times that the Most High say, hey, that wisdom and that knowledge that you utilize actually saved you and your family because when they cut the water off, you had some water already at home. Oh, when you couldn't get to everybody's scrambling trying to go get food and the bread line just lined up. Oh, guess what? You already got, enough to where you don't have to get involved in some of the madness that's going to be entailed with people trying to survive. Oh, when they cut off and particular resources of energy. Oh, well, you got your flashlights, you got your candles, you got your, your generators at the crib, man. You'll be all right for a little while. I'm just saying. But it's no surprise that more and more people are seeing that preparation time is underway. What is everybody preparing for? Everybody got different reasons. I showed a grid last week that they said more people are, what did they say? 70% of the people fear that the government won't be able to save them from an apocalypse. And everybody knew the apocalypse was coming. They said it could be anything from World War III, a nuke attack, to a zombie apocalypse. But everybody had a reason. But everybody knows time is of the essence. New Hoovervilles, RV villages, and makeshift tribes on the rise as inflation bites. So this is article talking about more people are, relying on moving into RV villages and living out their cars and homes and creating whole new communities of people who have given up on, trying to reestablish living out of a home or apartment or condo or a townhouse or whatever. They're saying, man, I'd rather just go ahead on and live out the car, which is, somewhat to the extent of I can understand that spirit and being on that tip, because the scriptures say, man, we got to be as pilgrims in the earth. But at the same time, it's still like a forced notion, because if the World Economic Forum and them are saying you own nothing, have nothing, and be happy, that's pretty much the mentality of a slave, where you're saying, you know what, I don't have anything, I don't own anything, but I'm happy. I'm still out here in the fields whistling and singing, picking cotton. I'm still out here thriving. That they give us the slops to make meals out of. I'm good with that, man. I can still, we can still sing and dance and play the fiddle and all that other stuff. That's one of the curses of being the greatest people on the earth, man, is that we can turn hell into, comfortable, a comfortability, and not even realize we're in hell. You talk to our people now, man, each other, man, we in hell, man, we going through it right now, and they'll be like, I ain't in hell, I'm great. As you rolling by, man, and a drive-by just happens behind them, all kind of madness going on, hard to convince our people because we know how to survive. But this is the mentality, and this is where everybody's going to, man. They moving to RV villages and little tribes of car and homeless populations is rising. They won't consider themselves homeless because they got the vans and the RVs and people are living it. But that's where everybody's going. People can't afford to be renting, mortgages and all that. It's so high now. They're like, man, I can't even do it. I'm gonna live out the car. Now look at it. Track my phone. A couple more and we're going to close. Track my phone, please. Teens feel safer when their parents monitor their every move. I mean, it's a gift and a curse when it comes down to tracking. Yes, it could be helpful with safety, and especially nowadays, man, making sure you stay on top of where your sons and daughters are at, But at the same time, the conditioning that our oppressors are trying to put in is to be comfortable being monitored, be comfortable with facial recognition, be comfortable with them watching every move that you make and having access to your whole entire life. So Gen Z is already adapting and saying, man, yes, I have no problem being tracked and traced. I have no problem with my privacy being being taken from me. Gen Z is ages 11 to 26. So if you got kids or family members, whoever from 11 to 26, a lot of them is fine with the way that the future is going, because that's what they want. To have a complete digital society, a world ID, it comes with monitoring. It comes with tracking, tracing, all of those other things, man. So they've already conditioned this next generation to be good with it. Generation X and so forth and so on. We're the ones holding on saying, hell no. Slow down. But they're already converting the minds of the next generation. Economically, car owners are falling behind on payments at the highest rate record. See, they're saving money to buy a house. Your dollar goes as half as it did at the end of 2020. We was talking about that earlier. How bad the economy is going. Repossessions is at an all-time high, man. People can't afford them payments. Hey, it was all good in 2020, 2021, when the PPP and the stimulus and all that money was coming, and people was like, man, I'm gonna go get that car I always wanted. And now that money done dried up, you can't make them payments now. Oh, they coming. You parking in different addresses and backing into certain spots, so the tow truck don't come in snatch that car away from you, that's what's going on, man. People that were sitting up, saving up, trying to had goals to go buy a house in about 2023, 2024. We finally saved up to buy that house we wanted. And then you realize, oh, the price of the house then went up $100,000. Oh, the qualification to get is even worse. And you're figuring, damn, I can't afford this house. I can't do it. It just keeps going up. Qualifications keep getting more stringent because banks ain't trying to loan money out to people that they can't, they don't want to gamble and take any losses right now. As we're seeing all the, multiple banks closing and laying off and all this other stuff going on, man. So it's very risky out there with investing. Last one here. Tyson Foods is joining the bug protein craze in partnership with the startup. You know Tyson Chicken? Yeah. They're investing in bug proteins as the new meal of the day. So make no mistake about it. I've talked about it for a long time. They're just moving towards that next phase of changing the dynamics of food. Tyson Foods Inc. is making its first foray into the insect protein industry as the meat giant seeks to diversify its operations. The American meat packer said Tuesday that it agreed to buy a stake in Dongen, Netherlands-based Protix BV to help fund its expansion. The companies will also form a joint venture to build and operate a U.S. facility that will produce bug-based meal and oil, which are typically used in fish feed and dog food financial terms. Listen, they're trying to make it sound like it's going to be just for the fish. And we know where it's going to next. They've already been experimenting. They've already been talking about bug proteins and putting it on menus and doing all this stuff for a long time now. It's just conditioning. Yeah, here's one more, man. Jim Jordan on track for another defeat during the third House Speaker vote. At the time when I got this article, he hadn't gone for the third. I think as of yesterday, he lost the third, man. So, the House Speaker, man, the Republicans, Esau and American structure, man, is in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble going on, man. They ain't got it. They ain't got it, man. And this place is going slowly but surely to the depths of hell and judgment. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, IQAhmath, man. Hopefully everybody got some edification today, man. Got some things you can build on and ride with throughout your Shabbat, man. Hopefully everybody has a blessed continuance of your Sabbath. And we'll be back with our closing Sabbath class at 4 o'clock Pacific time, man. Messenger of the Covenant. Tune in, log in with us, Lord willing. If not, catch it on the rebound. Other than that, man, y'all be well. Your brother's gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. So see y'all in the very near future, man. Shalom.